first and foremost, Zach Bond and Devin White. Again, they're most likely the first team linebackers. Pretty sure that's a lock. Slay, Isaiah Rogers, and Mitchell. Mitchell was at the nickel, and then the two outside was Slay and Rogers, obviously. Pretty good day for them. I don't think nothing too bad happened. Today was kind of like a quiet day for like reports. Usually I have like 30, 40 reports or have that I could possibly use, but yeah, today there really wasn't a lot. But uh, a defensive line, according to Jeff McLean, they strike back. They had a pretty good day. Milton Williams, he was productive both on the run and pass rush, things of that nature. So that's absolutely good to hear. Trotter and Ojimo, they both had pretty good days respectively. Quinion, first he told AJ that his route was trash. Now he's telling Smitty that his route is trash. Like, man, he wants all the competition. He wants all the smoke. So I'm here. I'm all here for it. Um, and according to Nick Sirianni, Vic Fangio was in the booth calling the plays or however during the scrimmage the other day, and he might most likely, well not might, but he most likely will be in the booth calling the plays for the Eagles here. Um, Nick Sirianni also said that his toughness and motor were really impressive and things of that nature. Um, and then Brandon Lee Gowton called it gassing him up. I mean, compared to the other linebackers that were slow, didn't want to tackle, couldn't tackle, wouldn't tackle, however the case may be. I mean, it's not wrong. They do look a heck of a lot better. The motor is a heck of a lot better. The physicality and toughness and all that. Heck yeah. Um, and again, Milton Williams, he's had a pretty good training camp. He's been disruptive. Everyone's been calling him in the pass rush versus the run. He got a couple sacks, quote unquote. Got a couple pass breakups, things of that nature. Overall, I mean, he's playing pretty good. Um, AJ, not AJ, CJ Gardner Johnson, last but not least, in terms of that, um, he sounded like he said feisty, passionate, and like didn't take no crap. Like that's what he was saying. That they admire, that people admire players like that, like Sean Taylor, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Nakama Kunzu, etc. He said that's him. You know what I'm saying in terms of the personality, or however. He said that he's here to win, hold himself accountable and the team accountable. He said that he doesn't care about like you, like that's literally what he said. He doesn't care about you, or whatever. I'm here to win. You know what I'm saying? Mom mentality. That's what I was getting from it. That's the vibes. And so far, I mean, he doesn't just bark or however. I mean, he stopped runs, and even then, that's supposed to be the D line and linebackers' job to stop runs. I mean, safeties are just supposed to be for passing, catching passes, and guarding wide receivers and stuff, things of that nature. But yeah, he had pass breakups, and he looks and sounds healthy. So I mean, not really too much more to say. I mean, I think absolutely he's top 10. He definitely got robbed by Madden. Like I think everyone's just trying to stir a pot, and Philly 7 will be even better and better and better, so then, whenever we win, nobody can say, oh well they were supposed to win or however, we're underdogs. And defensively, everyone says our defense is still bad, nobody can cover according to Cilio and all that. But I mean, according to multiple reports, Jeff McLean, he had good red zone days or however the case. Catch radius, despite good coverage, but I understand he's 6'7". But even then, you want somebody shorter, the average wide receiver height. Okay, AJ Wynn's impressive jump ball for Rodgers, which means the guy was covering him good enough to where he had to jump. Come on, now do the math. I'll let you do the math on that. Now, sometimes the quarterback can overthrow it, but at least on that one, it didn't say in the report Jalen vastly overthrew the ball or however, so he didn't need to jump for it, but he felt like he needed to because of the arms around him or however. If he had a little bit, more like air, but like a little bit more height or however, but whether by jumping or whatever the case may be, but he felt like if he just had a little more height, that he'd catch it. That's what he did. He just jumped up. But yeah, it was a good pass and all that, but he was being covered good is the point. And then Jamari Trotter, he had a good, couple run stops, things of that nature. He's been looking really good. He's had a strong training camp, quote unquote, things of that nature. The Eagles made a move. They waived McAllen Castles and claimed Kevin Fulsch from the Jets off waivers, things of that nature. I'm pretty sure it's just a little practice squad body or however. I'm pretty sure that's the role he's going to try to fight for. Wish him the absolute best. But I mean, nothing to like. Oh dang, what's that? Next up, 132 throws were thrown by Jalen Hurts in this entire training camp so far, and he hasn't got intercepted once. Yeah, sure, there's pass breakups, you know what I'm saying, but in terms of the metaphorical other guy, the bad guy, or however, what I'm trying to say, the other guy catching the ball and turning it over to where it's a pick or a pick six or whatever the case may be, that didn't happen once out of 132 throws, according to Elliot Short-Parks. So absolutely pretty good. Next up in terms of quarterback news, um, uh, maybe how he wasted resources on the Kenny Pickett trade, because apparently, according to multiple sources, it's time to have the Tanner McKee over Kenny Pickett debate, according to multiple sources. I guess Kenny Pickett's been looking, inaccurate, or however, got off to a decent start, or however, and kind of fell off from there. Pickett's been getting multiple first and second team looks, things of that nature. Comparatively, um, his stock's been going down. So, I mean, again, um, I honestly think that Kenny Pickett was probably a wasted trade, but then again, comparatively, to Mariota, no. Comparatively to Mariota, you know what I'm saying? Like, but having McKee behind him and not having Mariota, okay. But the fact that Mariota is not going to be playing for us or however, Mr. Concussion, absolute. So I can see kind of both sides of the coin. Like, dang, you gave up this or however for a guy that basically we didn't even need, basically. Because if Tanner McKee's beating out Kenny Pickett, then we didn't need Kenny Pickett to begin with. But if Tanner McKee couldn't beat, Kenny Pickett, if Kenny Pickett ends up winning the battle, because nothing's, set in stone or however, we haven't played a game. And, we haven't needed a, backup quarterback yet, or however the case, in terms of, because Jalen's healthy. But, you know what I'm trying to say. But, yeah, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I mean, yeah, absolute beast, things of that nature. But, yeah, so I think my final thoughts would be thinking about everything, thinking about as I'm talking, you know what I'm saying? I have a little bit of time to digest everything, because I don't want to overreact or however, or underreact or however, because some things that may look small or however could be a big deal, you never know. Yeah, my final thoughts overall, there might be a concern for the O-line health-wise or however. Becton is out or however with an illness or however. Landon Dickerson, he was limited today, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, we heavily, 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 heavily need Lane Johnson all 18, 19, 20 games, or however the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Including postseason and Super Bowl and things of that nature. We need him every freaking game. We can't afford to take the game off. Um, so in terms of that, we need like some solidified guy, not some guy that maybe Stoutland can teach him a few things. Next thing you know, he's an 85 overall. Like no, we need a guy that's an 80 overall that Stout can turn into a 90 basically. I don't know. Um, but yeah, Jalen Hurts, he's showing consistent accuracy improvement through 7 days of training camp. 132 throws, no interceptions, obviously pass deflections, but nobody's that freaking good. No pass deflections, making 100 billion%. That's impossible. Even if it's 99.9, you got to miss one at some point. Nobody's perfect. Um, but yeah, and it's not just 1 day or however. He's looking consistently better. Consistently, everyone's still saying day by day, man, this is the best Hurts we've ever seen in training camp. Obviously take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? If he's facing the Eagles, you know what I'm saying, and defense is unproven. There's a lot of question marks. A lot of dang, what if this or however, but reasonable. So that being said, kind of 50-50 on that or however. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying, but I'm not gonna get too excited about it. But yeah, Wilson, he proved me wrong already. He's proved that he's a good red zone threat. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was too big to be receiver. I'll admit it, I was wrong. He looks even better than what I thought he would. So even then, I'm wrong. Even if on the field doesn't work out this year, however, I can't tell the future from there. But based on what I'm saying, he's already better than what I thought he'd be. 6'7", going up against Devin White, who wants to prove himself. You know what I'm saying? White, you know what I'm saying? Because Devin White can cover, as well as cornerbacks, you know what I'm saying, Darius Slay, Keely Ringo, et cetera, throughout the various days of OTAs, mini camp, training camp, etc. There's been numerous matchups, within, those parameters or however, trying to slow him down or however, and anytime he's, given the opportunity for the most part. Obviously, he's not Randy Moss, he's not, you know what I'm saying, but he's done a better job than a lot of people have thought, so he's surprised a lot of people so far. That's why he's getting a lot of love right now. Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, etc. According to multiple reports, again, they had a really good day today. Milton Williams, he was productive. Most likely Jordan Davis is backup. Um, Essentially, we at least need to be top 5 in sacks to take enough pressure off the linebackers. Because linebackers can be average. If the linebackers can be average, if Devin White You know what I'm saying? Can at least be top 15. You know what I'm saying? Or top 12, top 13. You know, a little bit above average. You know, and then Trotter or Barn. You know that they could be average or slightly below. That'll be fine. Or worst case scenario, get Zach Cunningham back. Worst case scenario, after everything we're seeing with Nakobe Dean, may as well get Zach Cunningham back. At that point, better than absolutely nothing. Um, Next up, obviously CJ Gardner Johnson has Mamba mentality, things of that nature. That's very good to hear. However, last year we didn't have that. Does anybody think, anybody comment down below, does anybody think C.J. Gardner-Johnson would have allowed what happened in San Francisco any of the times we got blew out? I mean, maybe we still may have lost. I understand that, but do y'all think it may have been as bad? No. Um, and again, he's still young. I believe, this year he's going to be the leader of the secondary. I've said it in numerous videos. My personal opinion, I'm keeping managing until I see otherwise. My personal opinion, Darius No Play Slay is washed. I'm sorry to tell you. And until I see otherwise. Like I absolute wish the best for him and all that good stuff, but overall, I mean, he's washed. He's not the guy anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like each and every, game or however that anything bad happens. Oh, it wasn't my fault, but here's why the team played like trash. And oh, I want to be at home with my family. I don't want to tackle. Then stay home with them. All respect to you. You made $20 million like the past 2 years alone. What about the other 7 years? Did you blow it all already? Just retire already. Don't waste the Eagles fans' time or however saying, "Oh, I'm down for the Eagles. Appreciate everything." But yeah, not go the extra mile like how we always go, like how the fans and everybody that shows love to Philadelphia truly does. A city of brotherly love. If you ain't gonna do it for us, I mean, why does Howie and them keep doing it for you? You're washed. You don't want to tackle. You can't get picks. And to everyone saying, "Oh, C.J. Gardner Johnson on the field ain't that good." I mean, last time I checked, when he was with us, he was like what, top 3 in picks, if not number 1 in picks, led the league in picks for the better part of the season, if not the whole season. He put up pretty impressive interception numbers. And yeah, sure, interceptions ain't everything, but if you ain't gonna tackle, if you can't cover, if you're washed, you know what I'm saying? But if you can turn the ball over, shoot, that's still good. If you can do that once a game, you know what I mean? I think last year we averaged what, 25 minutes a game on defense, something like that, give or take, per game. And then on offense or however, we averaged like 30 something minutes or something like that. So something like that. But it was mostly offense or however. But yeah, you guys know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, overall, he's not just bark. He's also bite. He's passionate. He can back it up. He can tackle. He can cover. You know what I'm saying? He's fast. So I mean, again, I really do think everything. At least in terms of the secondary, will be a heck of a lot different. At least in the secondary, I can honestly say that. Next up, sorry for the little rant. Just like I said, I just really love my Eagles, and I may have misconstrued sometimes or have misexpressed it or however, but I love my Eagles. I just want to see us win championships. Anything short of a championship, you know what I'm saying, of the Super Bowl to be specific, anything short of a Super Bowl is a bad season. And if anybody thinks otherwise, that's a loser mentality. It's like a NASCAR driver saying, "Yeah, I led for the first 500 laps. How'd you do for the last lap? The lap that actually matters, the lap that makes people the GOAT or makes people great." Oh well, I got smoked, but they remembered me for the first 400 laps. No, it's not how it works. But yeah, next up in terms of need or however, my last final thought before I get out of here, I think that we need either a stud pass rusher to take pressure off linebackers and secondary so they don't have to work as hard. Because again, I believe in our secondary, but our linebackers, I don't know. Linebacker wise, I don't know. But if we had a stud pass rusher that can give us anywhere from 6 to 12, depending on what deal we can make, depending on how good Howie can fleece or however, because top 3 GM, I'll give him that. He's a top 3 GM. I'm not counting him out. 20+ million in cap space or however the case may be. Have trade candidates. You know what I'm saying? I mean, trade. Whatchamacallit, if it's a linebacker, I mean, trade Nakobe Dean, Ben Van Sumeren, pick or two, or however, you know what I'm saying, or however the case, someone like Khalil Mack, Josh Allen from the Jaguars, Trey Hendrickson, Jalen Phillips, something like that. Someone that's kind of solidified, anywhere from 6 to 9, and 10 on the high side, 10 to 12, or however if they can, but at least 6 to 9, 6 to 9. Final answer, 6 to 9, or a stud linebacker. You know what I'm saying? So if we can even have average, defensive line player, however, we can get, Demario Davis, Quincy Williams, Devin Lloyd, Matt, uh, Matt Militao, or however you pronounce his name, Matt Militao, or however you pronounce it. But yeah, with players like that, or however, and all we need is just one. If we had one of the guys on any of those lists, or however the case may be, Khalil Mack, Josh Allen, Trey Hendrickson, Jalen Phillips, in terms of pass rushers, I mean, any of those guys would do, and then we wouldn't need anything else. I think if we can keep those guys healthy, you know what I'm saying, rotate those guys in, keep everyone fresh on the D line, you know what I'm saying, we'd be good. And then I believe in Devin White, you know what I'm saying, and Trotter, Bond, you know what I'm saying. I like them, you know what I'm saying, but I haven't seen him on the field with the Eagles in this game or however. I like him. It's a possibility. It can go well. It's a possibility. But I mean, overall, Mario Davis, Quincy Williams, Devin Lloyd, Matt Militao. All we need is just one of these players. If they want out, something like that. I mean, personally, I really want Khalil Mack or Josh Allen from the Jaguars. Personally, because if we did that, I mean, I think that's way more likely. Just get somebody that can at least get you 6 to 9 sacks. At least 6 to 9. Pretty consistent every week. You know what I'm saying? When they need it, they have that clutch factor, something like that. Maybe 31, 32. I mean, half of this team is basically 1 year contracts anyway. I mean, I think only C.J. Gardner Johnson, and most of the offense or however, but most of the defense is just 1 year guys. I think P.J. Mustipher, um, Zach Bond. The list goes on or however. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I think it's gonna do for today's video. Yeah, like I said, biggest need at least one good pass rusher or a couple bad ones or however. I mean, at least one good one, 20 plus million cap space. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Last little announcement: I am planning on having a live stream this Sunday or next Sunday. Like obviously this upcoming Sunday, not today. Yesterday I had a pretty bad Wi-Fi issue, things of that nature got resolved. So I'm just gonna do day 8 and day 7 in one video, so I'm not behind. Um, C.J. Gardner Johnson, he had a minor injury, but according to Vic Fangio, hasn't been, nothing to worry about. However, I'll get into that later. Um, Zach Bond, he blew up a screen to Saquon Barkley, got him as soon as the ball arrived to him. Jordan Davis, he had a tackle for loss against Saquon Barkley. Also, he's been collapsing the pocket from the inside. So, again, he's been showing up. He has someone to vouch for him, and I'll, get into that later. They've been doing tackle drills finally. What we've been talking about, tackle drills. What we need to see the most, tackle drills, linebackers, everybody. They're finally doing it, with everybody rotating in and out. I mean, defensive players respectively. But yeah, obviously, according to the article or the post, it's a multi-station like tackle drill or however, with all the defensive players rotating in, things of that nature. Fangio, uh, he was praising Jalen Hurts' judgment, saying that he's been doing a good job of not putting the ball in harm's way. Obviously, last year, judgment, reading the field, everyone accused him that he couldn't do it. But if you only know 5 plays, and Christian McCaffrey, who's a running back who doesn't need to know your offense, is out there calling your offense before you even do it, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's taking this into account. Like, dang, the offense was that bad. Christian McCaffrey, who's an offensive player, he doesn't even need to worry about the defense. Already knows our plays. He did. Like he did it on the news or have like, yeah, you're probably gonna be a quarterback sneak. You can tell by this, this, and this. And then he called like the following 3 straight freaking plays. Just like man. Um. But yeah. I guess the Eagles signed Shaq Quarterman, camp body. I don't really see him doing anything. Maybe aside from special teams. Um. And most likely just special teams, like I said. In terms of offense, Johnny Wilson caught a tough ball over Keely Ringo in the red zone. He's been, a pretty hot red zone threat, no diddy, in terms of the hot part, but he's been on fire, and anytime they found him in the end zone, impossible catch, outrageous, outstanding. That's what they've been saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's what other reporters are saying. Um, but overall, yeah, I mean, that's good to see a potential, red zone threat or however the case. I definitely think he's gonna have a pretty respectable rookie season. Obviously not rookie of the year, you know what I'm saying, but definitely respectable. Like heck yeah, he's not a bust. Like he's a good, solid player. You can have no questions. Like heck yeah, get him the ball more. You know what I'm saying? He can be 1,000+ yard back, not back receiver. Sorry. Um, Jason Kelsey, he was watching the practice, things of that nature. Not Kenny, Tanner McKee, he threw a pick six to Sean Stevens. I don't think Kenny Pickett's thrown a pick six, so competition over. There you go. Tanner McKee's still throwing pick sixes. I didn't hear nothing about whatchamacallit, Kenny Pickett throwing pick sixes. I heard him throw an interception. Yes, I heard that. Yes, but Seems to me Kenny Pickett's the bona fide number two. But definitely see in terms of that. And then other offensive news, waived offensive lineman Jason Poe. I didn't even know who he was, because I always, Google up or however Eagles roster moves, you know what I'm saying? Because, you never know, like the small moves that, that could be consequential. I always try to, you know, react to every move or however, regardless of how big or how small. Um, but yeah, I've never even seen him on the roster before. Anytime like I've done prior research, so that's crazy. Press conferences, a lot of people spoke. A lot of it was just more so just like, yeah, we're doing this kind of play. I learned my lesson, or I'm learning this, or whatever. Nothing really, noteworthy. But in terms of what is noteworthy, Devontae Smith said he wanted to increase his general football IQ. So even though he's, top 10, all Eagles fans know he's top 10, but I mean, even outside, you know what I'm saying, Eagles fans or however, any non Eagles fan watching this, name 10 other receivers better than him. You can't do it. You'll be able to name 5, 6, 7. Okay, A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, whatchamacallit, Justin Jefferson, obviously. Debo, you could put him up there, you know what I'm saying? List goes on, but 8, 9, and 10, he's on there somewhere. But even then, he's not complacent. He wants to keep learning and whatnot. He said he wants to improve his fundamentals. He said that he didn't think C.J. Gardner-Johnson would hit that three, so they could not go to the meetings or however the case may be. But they had other meetings or however the case. So that's definitely good to know. Or however, Jamire Trotter Jr. He apologized for going a little too hard on Shipley. He said he was just getting in like game mentality, and then like he realized, or like, oh dang, I'm in practice. My bad. And then he got back into it. He says he says that he definitely feels like like a three down linebacker. You know what I'm saying? He feels like he can blitz, he can pass rush. You know what I'm saying? He can cover. He feels like he wants to get better at everything and things of that nature. So overall, he just seems grinded. If he feels like he's doing pretty good so far, um, somebody later confirms that. But we'll get into that. Fangio, he said Huff's getting better in terms of being a three down back. He definitely looks closer than what he did. So definitely a day by day sort of thing, and see where everything's at. He said that it's hard to play good defense without a good inside linebacker. Obviously, our linebackers are questions. I'm very confident in what we have, or however. But obviously, he does have a point, and if he doesn't feel too confident, then why should I? He's the one coaching him. He's the one seeing him every day. I'm just a fan from the outside, so definitely got to respect what he says in terms of that. Milton Williams, he said that he tried to get him in Miami, that he likes him in terms of pass rush. That he's versatile, that he's fast, athletic, things of that nature. Um, he said that Moro Ojimo, whatever his name is showing up. He said that speed and athleticism is Bond's calling card, that they've been doing good, or however, in terms of linebacker and cornerback, that nothing is solidified yet. Things of that nature. So I mean, that there's still a lot of interesting competitions to take place, and they're still figuring it out. And he said that the first part is getting to know your personnel, and then figuring out what plays work and what plays that they can have the most versatile looks and the most chance of stopping almost any player. However, is basically what I got from it. But overall, I say my final thoughts on day 8 would be that the defense is warming up, and they're getting their bearings and all that. Trotter, he's getting better. More Ojimo, he's showing up. Listen to what Fangio says. He's not gonna bullcrap. Like literally just an interview ago, he said Huff's not ready. This isn't ready. We're still figuring this out. He's not gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna be like, oh yeah, this and this and this, and you've seen other stuff, or however. They're working on everything. We're seeing the tackle drills, things of that nature. So if you have any questions about the defense, I mean, just literally just look up what he says. Heading in a good direction. He sounds pretty solid. Like heck yeah, we just got to get better. Things of that nature. We're figuring it out. We're figuring out the rotations. Everyone's getting better and communicating and play calling, and not play calling, but like play execution and things of that nature, and just figuring everything out. So definitely exciting to hear. In terms of offense, Jalen, he's still sharp. Hopefully, Kenny Pickett can be the quarterback too. Natural Philly fan, things of that nature. He is on our team. I do root for him. Not going to predict he's going to be MVP or however just because he's an Eagle, but I do wish the best for him because he's an Eagle. Um, but yeah, overall, I think that's going to do it for today's video. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's a little bit shorter, like I said. I had a serious Wi-Fi issue and whatnot, but I recently just gotten it fixed, so I'm just gonna make this into one episode. Day 7 and day 8 breakdown. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, overall, yeah, C.J. Gardner Johnson, Mamba mentality, things of that nature. Really excited. I don't see us winning less than at least 12 games. We won 11-6 with less defensive player personnel or having defensive end Fletcher Cox. That was our biggest loss. Brandon Graham's still here. You know what I'm saying? We got C.J. Gardner Johnson back. I mean, we got a lot of talent. Obviously, Zach Bond, I believe in his abilities. Milton Williams, I think he's going to step it up. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, et cetera, et cetera. But overall, yeah, I like the way everything's going. Just a little bit too many injuries, things of that nature. Oh, before I go, the current injury report is pretty much the same as yesterday. Obviously, Cooper DeJean is still out. C.J. Gardner Johnson wasn't listed, or however, we'll see tomorrow if it's limited or however the case. But as of now, he went right back in and everything's fine to the best of our knowledge. So yeah, it's pretty much the same as yesterday. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Sorry it was a little bit longer. Sorry for the awkward editing and things of that nature. You know me, I always try to bring the best I can, but I'm trying to stay on track, so I'm not a day or two behind. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, bearing with me. Like I said, definitely I got the Wi-Fi fixed and all that, so that's all good. But yeah, Philly out. God bless. Peace.